few months ago, I released a couple of videos about the Surly Corner bar. My overall opinion was fairly positive, but I definitely preferred other bars, and so these just sat untouched in my parts bin for about the last 4 months. But once I extended the brake hose on my Timberjack, I decided to give the corner bars a second chance and see if I was wrong. And to my surprise, I was. So let's get into it. One of my biggest complaints with the corner bar was the lack of a comfortable hood position. Anyone who's ridden a drop bar knows the hoods are a primary position that's used more than half the time. As someone who rode them for years, I found myself trying to make the little horns on the corner bar fill that role on every ride. It just wasn't working, and while the drops were wider and shallower than a normal bar, I didn't find them overly comfortable either. So when I put these bars on my new Timberjack build, I oriented the bars in a way that would make the horns match the angle of traditional hoods by rotating them backwards more than I had the first time. This pointed the horns up more, giving me more real estate to grab onto. About 3 miles into a slow grind up a dirt road, I found that every single position except the tops was awkward and uncomfortable. Frustrated at that point, I decided to stop, forget the hood position completely, and put comfort in the drops as my primary goal. Instead of rotating the bar backward, I rotated it farther and farther forward, testing the drops each time until they felt comfortable from a seated position. Once I felt pretty satisfied, I continued up the road, and within a half a mile, it's like a light bulb went on. I realized that I'd been corner barring wrong the whole time. Surly states in their press release that the bars are designed mainly for riding in the drops and on the tops, something I was very aware of. But what was I trying to do? Make the horns into hoods and use it as my main, most comfortable position. By having the bar rotated so far backward, the drops were put into this awkward position where they were pointing down and far away. I might as well have been grabbing the fork blades and using those to steer. Prioritizing drop comfort meant taking advantage of the shallow design, and what a difference it makes. It doesn't feel super hunched over or like I'm trying to get into an arrow position, but when I want to put the hammer down, it still feels easier and more natural in this drop position. The flare and width also make it a really good position when things are technical or steep. In traditional drops, my hands always felt really trapped and uncomfortable in rowdier situations, but not on these. I'm not saying I feel as in control as on a flat bar, but it's far from standard drops. With only the drops and tops really usable, there are a lot fewer hand positions than on other bars like, say, the Molokos, but I don't actually think that's a huge deal because both feel really natural and comfortable. I've done several rides of 1.5 to 2 hours on these now, and I'm really happy with them. Before learning the error of my ways, I probably would have given these a 3 out of 5 stars and said, yeah, they're good for inexpensively trying out drops, and maybe as an alternative to open up space for bags on a flat bar bike, but there's only one hand position that's actually comfortable. Now I'd probably give them a 4.5 out of 5 because they quickly and easily give you a totally different ride feel that would normally take a considerable amount of money and part swapping. So if you've been considering the corner bar or you own one and you didn't really love it, don't make the same mistakes I did. Prioritize the drop position and I'll bet you like them a whole lot more. Yes, it would be great if there were a better hood-like position, but that's not how these were designed, so don't try to force it. But let me know down in the comments if you've tried these bars, what do you think of them? Did you hate it? Did you like it? What kind of setup do you have going? If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.